2, 1.
So it's hard to believe, but it's been 10 years since I made my first video on how to use Sketchup. And in that time, I've got almost 10,000 views. But it's time for an upgrade because back in June 2009, Sketchup was not a cloud-based piece of software, and now it is. So I'm going to make a series of short videos to replace that one. And this first video, problem 1, the Rabbeted block, is simply going to teach you how to move around in the space and add dimension lines to this shape. Please note that you cannot use a phone or a tablet, as far as I'm aware at this time, for creating or working in SketchUp for schools. So the first thing we want to do is learn how to orbit. So orbit, if you're using a mouse, you can push down on the scroll wheel and the orbit tool will pop up. If you are using a laptop without a mouse, then you have to press the O button. And when you press the O button, you can orbit around like this. You see the horizon line. You can see underneath your shape. While you have O pressed, if you hold down Shift, you notice that the key changes from a red and green circle to a white hand. And this allows you to pan left and right. Lastly, zoom. You can zoom on a laptop by doing 2 fingers and going up and down on the trackpad, or on the mouse. Instead of pushing down on the scroll wheel to orbit, you can actually use the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. So what I want you to do with this first block is we're going to just put some dimensions on it. And the dimensions we're going to be using are the dimensions found on this drawing here. So we can see which way the lines are pointing. Any dimension lines can go usually 2 directions, and I'll show you that in a second. So let's start on the left side here. We have an extension line that extends out from the shape, and then we have the dimension that goes in between. So we'll go over here and we select dimensions, and I'm going to go from here to here. Now remember I said there's 2 ways, so the drawing has it going this way. You could also do it this way. I'm going to try and match the drawing as much as possible. So there, I go back, I see my 2 here, so I'm going to go from here to here, and this goes up, yep. And I'm going to zoom out a bit so I have a bit more space. Orbit, shift, let's move it so I have a bit better view here. And I have to do my 6, which is the length. So dimension tool. And notice when I mouse over, it turns blue. So far I've been going from here to here, but if you click on a line, you can also make a dimension that way. So there, and I have 1 more to do, 2 more to do. So I'll use the same trick here. It goes back this way, and the 3 goes down. And there we go. So notice how I've been going back and forth between my drawing. The way I'm moving back and forth on my screen is Alt-Tab. And that's a quick way to switch screens. In the next video, in problem number 2, I'll be showing you some more things. So hand this one in. Don't forget to hit save when you're ready to hand it in.